to retire right now. Why is it Chris Jericho?
Ah, ooh, man. You know who I retire? You want to know?
I'm waiting.
Hold on, cause my bad. Hold on, I got a message to say my video wasn't recording. But easily, the person I retire is Trick Williams.
What? Jesus Christ!
Right now, retire him.
So Rick,
It's not getting better, guys. He's not getting better.
Niram is a bona fide Trick Williams hater, 1,000%. He knows what it is. But listen, this is your show. It's me, Chano Hayes. We got Niram, we got Brandy Savage, and we got Rick 8-Bit here with us today. Let's stick around for the show, guys.
Four sides of the ring, four sides of the ring. Everybody out here got an opinion, your ego shall die in the ring. If the debate's getting heated, we heating, you know it's been fire in the ring. We them guys in the ring, leave with your pride in the sling. Four sides of the ring, four sides of the ring. Everybody out here got an opinion, your ego shall die in the ring. If the debate's getting heated, we heating, you know it's been fire in the ring. We them guys in the ring, leave with your pride in the sling. Four sides of the ring.
And now your host, Martin Big Red Hernandez. so fresh. It's honestly one of the best titles. No, he's not deserving. And I'm your host, the one that makes them say, "Oh damn!" It's your boy, it's Nick Ram. World title reign. Rated RKO have fun. Welcome.
Oh God. How's everybody doing today? I am your host for the evening. My name is Chano Hayes, and I'm your host today. Marcus is dealing with some things. He's with the baby. We hope baby Marcus gets better. I'm here with your resident hater, Nit Ram. Also with Brandy freaking Savage. We still rated. We still PG-13. We can't cuss yet. And our guest for today, Rick 8-Bit. How do you do, my good sir?
Staying dry in Connecticut, man. So I think we're all trying to get through this nasty weather. But hey, the sun's shining. It's a beautiful day soon. And guess what? The WWE universe is running after that awesome SummerSlam.
It was. It definitely was. It really was a really good show. And Raw was amazing. The Raw after was amazing as well. But Rick, if you don't know, Rick 8-Bit was on 2 episodes of Opinionated. If you haven't seen Opinionated, please go check it out. It is a show where Martin and Brandy find a way to eliminate me every single game. I don't know why. They find ways to eliminate me. Rick 8-Bit is from Booking Like a Mark. Rick, can you tell us a little bit about that show?
Yeah, it's I've done different stuff before. I inspired my brother to start his own wrestling podcast where he basically rewrites history. And we've had fun times. We've done trivia events. We actually just went to one in Wallingford a couple weeks ago. So it's just about changing up history and just talking about current events. I know this past week's episode, he actually rebooked SummerSlam. I'm not going to tell you how he rebooked it, but I'll just tell you go listen to it on Spotify.
All right, that's good to hear. I did read your "What If the Bloodline was in the 2000s," and that was actually a pretty great series. I did enjoy that. But for our
yeah, I don't know. No, I no idea where he comes up with these concepts. I've put a couple seeds in his head. I personally, I'm a huge fan of some of TNA's work while they were still Impact. I keep on telling them I want to see an Aces and Eights storyline, but in WWE. So if everyone just tells them, hey, work on that, we might get something that might be legendary.
All right, we got to keep looking the eye on booking like a mark. So for my other two A hosts, how you guys doing? What's going on, gents?
I'm good.
Man, we had a
I'm good.
dope. It's been a dope week, man. We actually hit AEW yesterday, Dynamite. Me and Nit Ram. I got to see Nit Ram get excited and pop for Chris Jericho. It's real, guys. He really loves that guy.
It's honestly
He's the GOAT.
Not what I seen.
not what I see ever. All right, guys. I will say you guys are terrible.
Listen, he keeps reinventing himself, which is kind of good because how old is he?
Too old. He should be gone.
See, the thing is
Keep
about
changing things up.
reinventing
You went
yourself
from the
is
list.
if you just
How
want to do
young
like
is
what
he?
you want to do, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, the crowd says they want to boo me, so I'm just gonna give the crowd what they want. It's cheap.
He's great.
He's terrible.
Ooh, I'm good at my job. Let me hate him. You know, that's how y'all
First
sound.
off, my man's is not even forklift certified. Let's get in this, but let's not even get into that. Let's jump into the go home show for SmackDown, shall we? Before we talk about Chris Jericho for 2 hours, which I'm pretty sure we can do. So, listen, SmackDown is gonna get better because the guy is back, but the SmackDown wasn't bad. The Bloodline won the tag team titles. How did you guys feel about that? They beat DIY. DIY's reign was like under a month.
So I brought this up in the last pod. I literally said they're gonna build up Jacob Fatu's resume, and they're gonna start now with the tag titles. I eventually think this year he'll get a mid card title. Jacob Fatu's next world champion. So just slowly building up his resume.
I'm not gonna hold you. I was listening to you guys episode last week because I wasn't on, obviously, and you guys have terrible takes.
Oh, coming from the guy who has the best takes. Get out of here.
Yeah, my
Like-
takes are just as bad, guys. No, but
Can't even win opinionated.
Word. Talk about bad takes.
It's rigged. But
It's rigged?
I will say, listen, me personally, I feel like tag titles or any title is better on a heel because it's better for baby faces to go after the heels and for the chase. You know what I mean? DIY.
You must have
They're
loved
great
SummerSlam
wrestlers.
then.
Yeah, SummerSlam was great for me. It was a great time. So, in a sense, like DIY, obviously WWE to drop the ball with Austin Theory and Waller, right? Like those guys should have never been tag champions. I feel like we can all be in agreement that should have never happened because it did absolutely nothing for the show. Even their potential breakup they've been teasing is going on way too long. They didn't do anything for SmackDown. The titles didn't do anything for them. And once again, WWE is failing Austin Theory, or Austin Theory is failing WWE, however way you want to see it. Me personally, I wasn't mad at the title drop to DIY. I felt like DIY could have done more of it. The crowd loves them. People do love themselves in DIY. However, I do understand why they dropped the titles to the Bloodline. They're gonna the Bloodline just elevates everything, especially with Tamatanga and Jacob Fatu. Like Net Ram said, Jacob Fatu is an absolute beast. He's a monster of a man. The man is fearless in every single sense. And the fact that he prays for his opponents before he beats their ASS is incredible. My man's is a complete savage. So I understand it. I understand that booking. My only thing is the next tag team champions after the Bloodline, they have to be able to pick up the pace and continue to show why.
Hasn't even been a week. It hasn't
No,
even been a week, and you're giving them the OG prestigious title run. They've been
No.
killing it. It's been 2 days.
Yes, listen. I understand it's been 2 days. Well, not 2 days, but what
You
I'm
already
saying
talk
is,
about the next title holder's got to keep up with the bloodline. Like they didn't even have a run yet.
Listen. I'm an OG Bloodline believer. They just Bloodline just elevate shit. You know what I mean? But
That's not the bloodline.
listen, what they announced them as the Bloodline. They're the Bloodline, my boy.
Just saying.
How would
I don't-
you,
I don't-
in your opinion, all three of you guys, why do you think WWE is failing their tag team division for both the women's and both men's?
I think honestly, I think WWE hates Cleveland because if you look at this past weekend, if you're from Cleveland, the only good thing you got to do is host SummerSlam. So that's one. And I think number two, I think right now, DIY was only held them for a month because if you can future or predict the future, there's going to be two challengers that are going to feud with these two gentlemen from the Bloodline for the tag titles. And I'm going to give you a hint. Their tag name, one starts with a U and the end of it starts with an S.
that can be anybody. What about you,
I
Nick? How would you fix this tag team division for all three tag titles?
It's actually pretty simple. Actually, you make tag teams, and you leave tag teams alone. The women's tag team division is literally, I think, 3 teams at this point. And, which is even worse is because it goes between 3 brands. And as far as the men's tag team division, I mean, we're talking SmackDown has the Bloodline, SmackDown has Grayson Waller, SmackDown has who else?
You know who else? Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin, because that's a tag team apparently.
Exactly, but that's my point. That's my point. I would never get invested into them. So it's like, I'm a big fan of tag team wrestling. I love tag team wrestling. That's why I prefer the other show. It's just they don't let tag teams actually be tag teams. They're always planning for the split.
Mm-hmm.
The longest reigning tag teams we've ever had is the New Day, and now they're planning for a split, which is ridiculously sad. They were around before.
Oh, you said the longest reigning. That's technically the Usos.
I said longest reigning as in form, still together.
Got you.
Sorry, not longest reigning tag team champions.
You know what I'm saying?
But my point is DIY is a great tag team. I love DIY, but they split up already. You know what I'm saying? Sammy, Kevin have their splits. They're always more focused on how do I split these two up more than how do I make these two prestigious. And that's the problem that WWE always presents.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with right. I have to agree with Nara, man. You gotta let the boys cook because there's so many things wrong with the tag team division at this moment. Like he said, you got Franken teams, you got them trying to separate tag teams too early, trying to make feuds instead of telling a tag team story. When's the last time we actually had a tag team match in the WWE cook? And on top of that, if you want to get tag team belts over, put them on the card for pay-per-views, PLEs. You can't have 5 championship matches and none of them be a tag team match. That's crazy.
Yeah, before PLE, it's what's going to happen. The SmackDown before, you're going to have the tag team titles defended. Congratulations, you can't make the main pay-per-view.
I will say this. So you guys aren't aware, but me and Marcus we're basically in a gambling fantasy wrestling league kind of thing, in a situation where we have to make our picks for who wins matches and whatnot. And Rick had a great idea. He said, go back to how it used the PLEs used to be. Have a SmackDown dedicated pay-per-view, Raw dedicated pay-per-views. This way, everybody in each brand has a chance to shine. And I feel like
that was Mark. That wasn't me. I can't take credit.
Oh, that was Mark. My apologies. Still
he's the booking genius.
Still the same podcast, but it was a great idea. If you break up these PLEs into brand specific shows, you can do both. You can do your main title, your intermediate title, your tag titles, and you can have 2 matches for rivalry and feuds that are going on at the moment.
I think
honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the reason why apparently they stopped that is because you had a pay-per-view every 2 weeks.
It was monthly.
No, but when you really break it down, there's only 4 weeks in a month.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a pay-per-view,
they split it every month. It would be Raw, and then next month it would be SmackDown.
Yeah,
and then the big 4 would be split.
Right, but what I'm saying is the issue that they were having with that is that these storylines, even though they were able to drag them out, is the pay-per-views were getting too close together, and it was just bad formatting. Yeah, it was just bad formatting when they did it.
I understand that, but if you do it monthly in a sense, you give these feuds a chance to like flourish and prosper in a sense instead of like, okay, boom, like we saw with
No, but then you
Gunther was go Brandy.
then you have someone cooking or not cooking so much, but you have someone waiting 2 months to get their hands on somebody. That just takes too long.
And it's not like
Yes.
they're like the
Yes
other
and no.
company where they do TV
Like,
pay-per-views for free.
It has its
I'm just
pros and its
saying.
cons.
Yes, I understand that, but
Hey, it
you can't
might
say the other
change.
company. You can't say the other company because NXT does TV pay-per-views as well.
That's the way to do it, though. That's the way you fix it. So you would
That's
say,
the way-
all right, this month we're having Raw's having a pay-per-view and SmackDown's having a televised special event.
NXT is cooking, but you see,
Hey,
it is
listen.
possible. So you can't say
You don't have to
the other
acknowledge his
company.
signs.
No,
You
before-
know,
It
before
might
we get-
change
before we go
too.
Before we get
Think
too
of
crazy,
this way too. Netflix, everything goes to Netflix, right? And Trips has
Yeah.
said it's going to be worldwide now with Netflix. So basically, for the states, it's going to be the WW or Peacock. Everyone else is going to be Netflix. How do you get more money into both of those? You're going to have a couple more shows. They're going to get more money by advertisers because every single match is advertised by Whiskey or Slim Jim or whatever. And then also factor in you're going to get more money from the tickets you charge. And also, it's John Cena's retirement year. Listen, they want the cash. We all know that. Cash is king. You'll see, once everything changes to Netflix, watch, you'll start seeing a lot of things change. That's probably going to be one of them.
well, let's see what Netflix has in store for us, guys. But let's get into SummerSlam before we sign on the case. Let's get into SummerSlam, shall we? Brandon, let's start off with your favorite match and your least favorite match.
My favorite match definitely was Liv and Rhea. I was
Oh,
just, you know, what I mean, it was
Such a good match.
the best moment of the night didn't come from that match. I will say that. But the worst match on the card is Cody Solo, man.
Why would you say that? I want to hear what you got to say.
They're not selling me on by trying to sell like this is my problem with this whole feud. By trying to sell Solo, you're taking away from Cody. And like if you're trying to sell the champion, you're doing too much with this other guy. And it's just like I understand you're trying to give him a villain, but we know who his villain is. It's not that guy.
That main event was way too predictable. Number one, who was the sponsor for that match? Who was the sponsor?
Wait,
Cody Rhodes Whiskey was the sponsor.
Whiskey, yes, the American Wheatley. Yeah, he's gonna
You're
lose a
telling me
match
his
he's
company's
sponsoring.
not going to sponsor a match he's losing? Come on,
I'm not gonna
100%. He needs villains.
I'm not gonna hold you. Cody's title reign is the whole title reign is gonna be predictable. He's not losing anytime soon. So it doesn't matter who he faces. God himself can come down and face Cody Rhodes in a square circle, and we all.
Is it going to be a tag team match?
It could be. 1000%.
Hey, God helped Roman Reigns throw Finn Balor off the turnbuckle. Let's never forget. God could be in the WWE Hall of Fame at this point.
Nick Ram, what was your favorite and least favorite match, Nick Ram?
Surprisingly, my favorite match was Gunther and Damian. Because
I say surprisingly.
it's Gunther. God,
He
Gunther
hates
cooks.
Damian.
Don't hate him. Don't hate him. Like what he did on Monday night. Worst match, it's the same thing. It's the Cody match. And we're just talking the match, right? We're not talking the big surprise at the end and all that. If it's just the match, it's the Cody match. Honestly, this is what bothers me about the Cody match, to answer why it's the Cody match. I left that match talking more about Jacob Fatu than I talked about anyone else in that match. And to me, that's a problem.
I will say this about that Cody match. We've already seen Cody versus Solo 2 other times. And both other matches weren't great. You know what I mean? There was no chemistry. It was very slow. Solo's moveset is very limited in the sense. Cody's a great wrestler. I won't take that away from him. I won't take it away from Solo. Solo is very predictable moveset. It's very stiff. It leaves a lot to be desired. But yes, it wasn't a great match. What about you, Rick 8-bit?
I gotta say, Gunther, Damian Priest, I think was match of the night. That definitely hit. I wasn't a fan of that ending. I did call it. I had a feeling that Finn would show up and cost them. I also thought Finn would actually show up and cost Rhea Ripley the title. To be honest with you, I wasn't thinking it would be Dom. For the match of the night that stunk, I actually have to say Logan Paul, LA Knight.
What?
It was great.
Yeah.
I just think that interference, it's every single Logan Paul match, and it takes away. Logan Paul's incredible in the ring. I mean, that flip where he jumped up to that rope and flipped over, that was great. But you had NGK and his goons and Brass Knuckles. You could have gotten away with that.
Nah, I get it. So let's kick off with that Logan LA Knight match. Me personally, that was my least favorite match of the night. Logan is extremely talented in the ring. I don't think any of us can take that away from him. But it's something about LA Knight that just doesn't do it for me at all in ring. I'm obligated. I'm an LA Knight fan. I don't have a choice. That's my guy. He brought Jalen Brunson out in the Garden. I can't say nothing else bad about the man. It's just I don't make the rules. But something about that match, it was just so slow paced. I did pop at the end when LA Knight jumped on that top turnbuckle and he hit that brain buster on Logan Paul. That was insane. That was absolutely filthy. And aside from like two other spots from Logan, the match left a lot to be desired for me. You know what I mean? Listen, NetRam's going over here. What was your thoughts on the match, NetRam?
My thoughts is boo this man. Listen, you guys could say that was worst match of the night. To me, it was the most entertaining match of the night. I think Cody's match was predictable. We all knew Rhea was getting turned on. We all knew Damian was getting turned on. But there was something about if they were going to let old boy lose in Cleveland, and what was Machine Gun Kelly going to do? What was Jelly Roll going to do? Which I thought Jelly Roll should have been involved in that match. But Logan's incredible. LA Knight's incredible. It was a great match. You guys are haters. Boo this man.
From the man who...
It's not that I hated that match. I just hated the interference. It's every single match. It's brass knucks.
The brass knucks was still involved. Honestly, I knew LA Knight was walking away with that title. There was no way that they were going to let Logan Paul walk out of SummerSlam with the United States Championship. There was no way in hell.
We know my theory.
270 days, 2 title defenses. And it's not
nobody walks out of their hometown champion, bro. This doesn't happen.
That's a good point. And it doesn't happen. Look at the DOI. My man
Gunther. That's why Gunther has his title defense on August 31st in Bash Berlin. I'm like, he's gonna win. It's too soon, but let's break it. Let's break the streak. I like when streaks get broken. That makes it okay. Then you're right.
You must have been happy with the White Sox.
So Brandon's jumping into the next match. He says, "Screw the order of the matches Chano wants to go in." So let's talk about that Damian Priest. Let's talk about the Damian Priest Gunther match, right? Honestly, for seeing 2 big meaty men in the ring and doing their thing, it was a great match. I don't think nobody's ever doubted Gunther's in-ring ability. But to see Damian Priest, since he's gotten the world title, take it another level and just have these great, amazing matches, it's incredible for him. If he was to win the world title again, I would not be mad at it at all. He has shown he's a world title, he's a world championship material, main event level guy. Brandy, how do you feel about that statement?
About Gunther being... Gunther is the epitome of world champion. His matches, the way he looks, everything about him screams world champion. I could take him serious as opposed to the other guy.
This was the best.
We're not here for shots.
Hold on. This was the best match that Damian Priest has had since becoming champion. It didn't have a single botch in it. Thank Jesus.
If that's the only reason you're saying it's the best match.
Over. Dude, Damian, you guys are acting like Damian had this great run. Damian had great character development with this title run. I'll give him that. Great character. But his matches were not great.
That's false. You're wilding.
It's not great. He's never had, as world champion, he's never had the match of the night.
What do you mean?
Until right now when he lost. Until right now when he lost.
You're out of your mind. You're honestly out of your mind. Respectfully.
He might have a point, though. Listen, his last title defense was against Drew McIntyre, and you had to have or Drew McIntyre showed up when he was fighting Seth. Then you had to have Punk. Everything overshadowed that he walked out with the title.
Exactly.
He's got a point.
I agree with you. No, literally, every match Damien's had, there's been some type of BS to take away from the fact that the match was good. Even if they're botches, the matches were good.
But I didn't say they weren't good. I'm just saying he didn't have classic matches. He never had match of the night until now. Can he be world champion again? Guaranteed. His character development since winning the championship was phenomenal. I really enjoyed the Damian Priest character.
You know how I know you out of your mind? Respectfully. You know how I know you out of your mind? Respectfully. When he fought Damian Priest at Clash of the Castle, that was a banger of a match. That was
Drew McIntyre.
The best match on the card.
Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest couldn't fight Damian Priest.
Drew McIntyre.
He fought Drew McIntyre. You said Damian twice. But that was the best match on that card.
He got caught in the rope. He got caught in the rope.
He did. If he got caught in the rope, it was still the best match of the night.
It wasn't the best match of the card,
bro. That I Quit match between Cody and AJ Styles was Doodoo Chips Mahomes. That was a doodoo match.
No,
that was a doodoo match. That was match of the night. You're just a hater, honestly. As somebody who's a Chris Jericho fan, we're just not gonna see eye to eye. You know what I mean?
Hey, you got to be careful. You'll end up on the list.
Jericho's GOAT.
Jericho is a GOAT. He's not a GOAT. He's an old GOAT that needs to be put out of his misery.
Man, he made Jey Uso look good, man. He good. I don't care.
Listen, Damian Priest will always be good in my books. And you know who beat Damian Priest when he was pushing Punisher Martinez? Our co-host, the Zombie King, Ant Jr.
That's right. For the tag team champs. For gold.
I'll never have anything bad to say about that man. Does anybody else have any other thoughts about that Damian Priest Drew McIntyre match?
People are gonna hate me for this. I hated the fact that after he did that chokeslam, he had to roll him over. He was close enough, or he didn't roll over. The camera had that shot. It would have been so much cleaner. That was my only issue. He rolled him over to the ropes where you knew something was gonna happen.
Yeah, Gunther was taking a sweet ass time rolling. He was like,
yeah,
I need help getting over there.
Like,
you know what my problem with that match was? They showed the replay on the Titantron. They never showed the replay on the Titantron.
That's amazing.
For this one occasion, because it's stupid, guys. Let's be honest, okay? He cheats. He finds out later on that he cheated, right? My boy cheated me. They've never in the history of WWE have played the replay as it happened.
They always play the replay. The wrestler acts like he didn't see it.
Somebody in the back truck was straight up like, yo, I'm snitching on my boy.
Let's clarify this real quick. They always show it. The wrestler acts like he doesn't see it. And I love when the wrestler is smart enough to look up at the monitor or the Jumbotron or whatever it may be to say, what just happened? Because there's so many times shit happens and they're showing it right there, but you're arguing with the ref or whatever. I like reality. Bring more reality.
And that was used to set up him going after Finn. Because if he doesn't see it, he doesn't go after Finn. He sees that, and all he wanted to do was literally knock Finn out. So that helped advance that match.
You know what was great about that? He broke out of the sleeper hold. He did a move on Gunther, and the first thing he did was to go choke Finn Balor. Like he went
I loved it.
Him. It was no longer I'm gonna defend this title. It was I'm going to kill you.
Kill this dude.
Hands on.
Damien did it to himself.
Damien screwed Damien. No, Damien has a temper, and he does that shit to himself a lot.
Damien screwed Damien.
100%. But it was great. It was a great match. It was a great ending. Honestly, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a little bit of Gunther fatigue. And it's not because I don't think he's a great wrestler. I think he's a phenomenal wrestler, and I think he's gonna be a multiple-time world champion for how long he is in his company. My issue with Gunther is who is Gunther's character without a championship on him? You know what I mean? I want to see that fleshed out a little bit, but I will trust the process. I don't think this championship run will be a year long. I think he'll probably lose it at Survivor Series or at Mania to whoever it is to. But
or the Rumble.
It could, honestly, if they have John Cena go over Gunther at the Royal Rumble, that would be insane. I would lose my mind. I would pop. I would honestly go crazy. But I have a
No,
little bit of fatigue. I was talking about in the group chat with Brandy. Brandy told me I was bugging. I'm the only one that feels this way. But
I
I
wasn't
want
the
to
only
see
one that told you that.
you were
you was the only
literally
one that told me
we
that.
all said it. We were all
Nobody
wondering
said
why
it.
you was going so hard on Gunther. I said it.
We said it.
Listen, listen. I think Gunther's a great talent. I'm just over. I just want to know who Gunther is without the championship because
You'll
after
find
he
out
lost,
quick at the bash.
That's the thing. You don't get it. Gunther is a champion. He always has a championship. NXT UK, straight to NXT,
Mhm.
yes,
straight to Intercontinental, straight to the
yes,
World Championship. Gunther
a
is
thousand
just
percent,
a champion. That's
a
his
thousand,
character.
a thousand. Listen, 1,000%. But also, who is he without that title? Because after
We'll never
WrestleMania, he
know.
lost the chip. After WrestleMania, he lost the strap. Right? He lost the
And what
strap.
happened?
He went AWOL for like a month. Right? He went AWOL for like a month. The man's pulled up for the King of the Ring tournament, won the King
And
of the Ring
one.
tournament, buzzed off for another
That's
month.
success.
Bro, my man's buzzed off for another month. He came back to for a SummerSlam feud, won the championship. I'm like, Jesus Christ, who is my man without the strap? I think he's phenomenal. I think he'll do a great job as a champion. As
You know who
Gunther,
would be a great manager for Gunther? Bring back JBL. JBL was a wrestling god. Look at Gunther, what he's done, and JBL could be his mouthpiece because he doesn't need it, but it would help. Think of that.
listen,
Just picture that. That'll be
I
like
could just
Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar.
country as JBL, just like talking for Gunther would crack me up.
all right, so let's move on to. We already did Cody Solo. There's no reason to go back to that. We did Priest Gunther. Let's do Braun Breaker and Sammy, the glorified squash match.
And also the only match where there was a clean finish at SummerSlam. Keep that in mind.
Braun Breaker is that guy. Allegedly, that match was supposed to go 10 minutes, but something happened where they cut it short. I think it was a great showing for Braun Breaker. Honestly, I feel like we all knew he was gonna walk out the champion. I don't feel like this was a Chad Gable situation where they go, oh my god, they're gonna do it, and they didn't. It was like, oh, what's the point? But I do like this for Braun Breaker. Who do you think is his first opponent?
It's Sammy. They already announced it. Sammy gets his
True. I
rematch.
mean, after Sammy,
Yeah,
after the championship,
Sammy is on Raw. Yep.
Uh, After that, it's Ilja.
Yep.
it has to be right. He's clear now. We saw him in the back. It has to be Ilja versus Braun Breaker at Bash at Berlin. That sounds.
Or
That's
it's
honestly a
Bronson
great
Reed.
matchup. Nah, it's not Bronson.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna do heel versus heel.
No, I don't think they have the balls to pull that off. All right, let's do Bailey versus Nia. To me, I think this match started off a little slow. What do you think, Rick?
Honestly, I wasn't a fan of the ending. You know, I think we all knew it's like, all right, they just had Drew cash in and fail, and they're gonna make this last as long as they can with Tiffany, especially now she has the briefcase and everything. Oh, I just feel like it wasn't needed. I feel like if Nia did it clean, I think that would have given her more power and really ump her up as a champion. But I think as you know, I mean, she dominated Bailey. Once with the distraction, that was it. Give her a good squash match and really make her the champion. Because without Bailey, I mean, who's going to be a challenger? I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
They have a closet full of babyface women on SmackDown. They just got to get them out the tag team division. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Because no one has a level right now. It's Bailey is your top face. Will she get a rematch? Who knows?
You get
Honestly,
Jay Cargill.
what they do is anyway, if you notice, they alternate the women's title matches every other pay per view. So
Oh, I
like
didn't notice that.
it was Liv, it was Liv at Saudi, and Bailey didn't get a match. Bailey didn't get a match. Then Bailey got a match at Clash of the Castle against Piper and Niven. Liv didn't get a match, and then they both just ended up winning. Who I forgot who had the title defense at Money in the Bank, or neither one of them did. But they've been alternating. They've been alternating women's title defenses. Brandon, what you thought about the match? Me personally, I popped when Bailey had Nia off the top rope and she hit it with the power bomb.
That was good.
I popped.
Might have been the spot of the night, man. I seen someone on Twitter go, Andre, retire the Hulk Hogan Andre thing. We don't need it no more. And I was like, maybe they're right. SummerSlam got their moment, and it's barely picking up Nia. But honestly, that was a great match. I love both women in that match, and I was expecting about what they gave. So, man,
I think that was the hardest
so
one
happy
to
she's
predict.
fine. It was the hardest one to predict, but not really. Like, I knew Nia was coming out the winner. I knew Tiffany was going to interfere and do something. But, like, I don't know. I love the match. I love the two women in it, and we got to see Tiffany. So,
do you guys think when Tiffany catches in, she's going to go from heel to face?
No.
I don't think she's going face. I don't even think she's. I think she has a failed cash in as well. And also, like, I hate to be that guy, but like, why didn't you just cash in on Liv Morgan when Rhea Ripley was about to rip her head off? You just throw her back in the ring. You know what I mean?
Because then she wouldn't be with her best friend.
Then they could be champions together. What kind of best friends don't want to be champions together?
I will say
you bring up a good point. You bring up a really good point. In real life, who is Tiffany dating?
Goodwick.
Gunther's buddy on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Have her cash in, and then she could be on the brand with her guy, and they like to keep couples together. You got a very good point there, sir.
I will say this. At one point in the match, when I saw Tiffany come out, I was like, is Tiffany going to low-key screw Nia Jax and distract Nia? Bayley wins the match, and then Tiffany cashes in on Bayley, creating that tension between Tiffany and Nia Jax. I'm messing up names on that, guys. My apologies. I did have that inkling of a thought for like a good 2 minutes, but that obviously went away. I feel like this was a predictable outcome. I honestly feel like Triple H has failed Bayley and Sami Zayn. Honestly, they both won the straps at WrestleMania, and they both don't really have nothing to show for it. Especially Bayley. Sammy was on every pay-per-view, PLE. He wrestled every single one, had great matches, great storytelling, but overall, I felt like the Intercontinental title didn't do anything for him. Just how I feel like the Women's WWE Championship didn't do anything for Bayley. Honestly, that's probably because the EO line, the Damage Control Bayley storyline, didn't really get any much traction going into WrestleMania.
Yeah. I was at the go home for SmackDown. All it was a 6-man tag they were setting up. Bayley against Io Sky was a package on the screen. This is your go home, and that's all it gets. I completely agree with you. He definitely dropped the ball.
NetRam, how do you feel about that WWE has failed Bayley and Sami Zayn?
So, failed's a strong word, because the way I see it is they gave them Mania moments, and to some wrestlers, that's all they ever want. Like, we've heard CM Punk had a great career, but he always talks about he wants that big WrestleMania moment in the main event. That's what also people really want. So I think they had their Mania moments, and then they didn't have plans for him after that. But I wouldn't say they failed him. Sammy came out looking super strong. He was on weekly television defending the title. Bayley, on the other hand, I can see where you're coming from. But that also being said, Bayley to me has always been the safest bet that they've had as far as transitional champions, because she's a lovable heel. She's a lovable babyface. She's one of the best in-ring safest workers that they have. So I think in a weird way, Bayley kind of always knew this would be transitional. They just had to set it up. But I want to say, just quick note. So I watched this pay-per-view with my father, who's not a wrestling fan. Hasn't watched wrestling in years. He only watches it whenever I'm next to him. It's like that. This was my favorite match to watch because my dad kept making comments, and it's just like one-line comments. He would be like, "Yeah, that lady, man, she looks like The Rock." And I would just turn and be like, "Well, that's her cousin." And then, like, later in the match, she does the sit down on the chest. He's like, "Oh, look at her doing the Yokozuna," and I was like, "Well, that's her uncle." It's just like I just kept like naming people. Like, he would say something, and I'd like turn and be like, "Well, that's her family." Like, and to me, that was like made the match way more enjoyable to watch.
No, that's fire, man. Especially, I feel like the SummerSlam was a great PLE to introduce to people who hasn't watched wrestling in a while, because the whole entire card was predictable as hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the only true wild card of the match for me was the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match. And even then, to me, it was like, are they going to let CM Punk beat Drew in this match? But it was really enjoyable. So my question for all of you guys, I'm gonna start with Brandy. How do you feel CM Punk looked in his first official match back in the WWE after like 10-ish years?
It's actually kind of funny. I feel like he exceeded expectations, but expectations were low. So I don't know. I feel like Drew did a great job of keeping him looking good, and Seth kind of did a good job of distracting any flaws and anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was actually very happy with his performance coming out of it. And like, I would have actually been way less happy if he didn't win. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like coming back after 10 years, you shouldn't win.
And he's over 45. He shouldn't be winning matches.
And he shouldn't even be in the ring.
Facts. How do you think Seth took away from the match at all?
No, Seth added to the match. I think Seth was what the match needed, and we didn't even realize it until he was in the ring, and he brought a certain flair and just like the story. Like, there were certain parts that were a little predictable, like with the bracelet and such, but you can't tell that story without Seth. Like, if a referee picks up his thing and you beat up a referee, it's like, why are you fucking up a referee? It's not, you know what I mean? Like, you're just being a bully. If you want to be a babyface, you got to beat up another wrestler. And to protect CM Punk as the babyface, I felt like they had to kind of give him justifiable reasons.
Martin, how'd you feel about the match, CM Punk's performance, especially since you're an AEW guy? How do you feel about Pepsi Phil, and how do you feel about Seth as the ref? Do you feel like he took away?
So that being said, I am an AEW guy, and I remember the biggest complaints from CM Punk's AEW run is that he was rarely losing. So I think him coming into his first WWE match and straight up just losing is, hats off to the chef. Seth was needed for him to lose. I feel like you do this match one-on-one, which I think they're going to have this rematch because they're setting it up. Looks like they're writing Seth all TV, so they'll do this rematch. I think him losing, not saying he didn't lose clean, because technically it was a technical clean loss. But him losing clean wouldn't have made sense to me with a regular ref and all that. So he goes to the next one, he wins, or he loses. Who cares? CM Punk doesn't care about any of these pay-per-views. He wants his Mania match. That's the only reason why he's here. He wants his Mania match. He wants that Mania main event. You have 2 nights for Mania. He has to get one of them. So he could lose every match for all he cares. As long as he can stay healthy all the way to Mania, he'll get his main event, and I think he'll be satisfied.
It's hard, man. It's hard, especially if Seth doesn't have the title. I can't just pick him in the main event. What
Against
about
John Cena?
How'd you feel? Nah, I don't feel like John's opponent at WrestleMania is going to be CM Punk. I feel like it's going to be Randy. I feel like it has to be Randy.
It needs to be the Miz.
Never faced
but...
one-on-one at WrestleMania. What about you, Rick? How do you feel?
Well, I appreciate you guys for listening to the podcast because I did mention Miz Cena. But I would say that I definitely got a feeling. I feel like if you look at it 2 ways, like if you rewatch it, I watched it once, I rewatched it. The second time, I felt like Seth was a distraction, and I feel like that match could have been something different. But then I look to the future, and you kind of see where this is going. There's a pay-per-view in Atlanta, Georgia coming up, which is the anniversary of Hell in a Cell. You know where this is going. So this needed to be a stop because the final destination is going to be in Hell in a Cell. So I think I think the match, this was the right call in the long run because it's definitely setting up stories, and then it also kind of set up a little side road for Rollins on Raw, which I think would be helpful, but so it kind of steers them away from that so these two could finish. But 100%, this was the beginning, and the final match is going to be at Bad Blood.
My only issue with the match being at Bad Blood, Triple H has shown that he's only a 5-match booker on these PLEs. And if you do a Pepsi Phil Drew McIntyre match, you do a Bloodline match, which you can assume they will, that only leaves like 3 title matches. You know what I mean? Like Cody Rhodes, the Savior, whoever the world champion is at the moment, and I guess a United States Championship match. You know what I mean? It sucks. I do wish H would stretch out these PLEs to at least 6, 7 matches. This way we can have 2 rivalry matches and still have your obligatory title matches. But it is what
I've
it
told
is.
mouthing off with Mike this that I really want at Bad Blood. It's a combination of a couple things which would be great. Let's go old school 6-man Hell in the Cell. Gunther, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Problem solved.
Well, we at it. Let's not put a ref. Let's put a switchblade in the middle of the ring. Last wrestler breathing will win.
He's
Let's
still
go into
gargling.
my-
Listen, you,
CM Punk tears his bicep picking up the knife.
Oh my god.
You're just an AEW fan. All right, let's go into my favorite match of the night, gentlemen. Liv versus Rhea. This match was so much better than I expected. The ending, even though I knew it was coming, I still popped. I was at work, and I lost my damn mind afterwards. So let's start this one off with Martin, because Martin started you last. Last one. How do you feel about the Liv Rhea match? And why was it the best match of the night?
who me?
Now let's go with Martin first.
Okay.
You said last. You had Rick last, so I was confused too.
Yeah.
I'm clearly having some mental lapses, guys. Leave me alone. It's Martin.
Well, I'm gonna say this: that match was storytelling at its finest, and I mean at its finest. Everything, every little detail made 100% sense. Like, people didn't catch it, but Dom telling Rhea not to use the chair because she couldn't win a title that way. No, that wasn't that.
He's
Dom
protecting Bay.
said Dom said don't use that chair. That's my girl. Don't hurt her. You know what I mean? And it was like a bunch of little stuff. Yes, it was predictable, but the story was great. I can go and watch a Transformers movie and know that these robots are cars. And guess what? I probably would still think it's okay. That's what this was for me. It was a predictable story that was told good, and I would watch it every time.
That's one thing about this PLE. It was very predictable from start to finish, but it was still so damn good. So damn
That was the best opening match out of the choices. That was the match that had to open it. 100%.
1,000%, especially the afterwards when Damian Priest he pressed Finn Balor. He was like, "Did you know about this?"
Mm-hmm.
And Finn was like, "Yeah, I ain't nobody. Why would I know about this? I don't even know where he is."
What kind of accent is that? Chano, no more accents for you.
Oh my god.
You sound like the leprechaun from the cereal commercials.
The Wish.com version of Finn Balor, everyone.
What about you, Brandy? I know you said that was your match of the night. What you thought about it?
I mean, it was just great from start to finish. Like he said, Rick said, it was probably the best opening match you could have chose. And I remember me, Nit Ram, and Marcus were trying to debate which one to open, and none of us chose that, if I remember correctly. And boy, that was a hell of a match. They banged, they hated each other. Might be another match for Bad Blood, because we know we're trying to see all the Bad Blood feuds go at it. So Liv and Rhea rematch, this time with Dom on Liv's side. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I hate to say it, but I think the Bad Blood match is actually Rhea and Priest in a mixed tag match with Dom and Liv. No, I'm just saying, like, that's what they look like they were setting up, especially with everything on Monday. They gave them a tag team and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're getting a mixed tag
team,
match.
That's always what they called each other. They called each other the Terror Twins.
You don't put up the twos and act like you don't hate WWE.
Yeah, that's insane. Listen, I'm gonna
Signs
say
are
this,
my thing.
You know, outside of kayfabe, we all know Dom is a married man, but we saw the replay. We saw Liv slip him some tongue. I already know Dom got a crazy ass text message. Crazy ass text message when he got to the guy. You know what I mean? I don't care how much they pay you. My man's at the end of the day, you still answer to your wife.
Yeah, man.
Let's get into the biggest thing that happened at SummerSlam. The Tribal Chief has returned to the WWE. Listen, that pop was absolutely. You talk about I'm a hater. Jesus Christ.
He took down the one. What do you mean?
Yeah, but it was a middle finger.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why he chose that finger. He went.
Was anyone else confused a little when the music hit? Like you knew what it was, but you're like, what?
So that what that actually was? That's his WrestleMania entrance. When the person was hitting the drums at the beginning, they changed it to the. I'm like, yo, that's fire. I know Chance was hating it in the beginning.
It was fire, but it threw me off as well because I was like,
yeah,
that threw me off, and the crowd popped. The crowd was popping so crazy.
You couldn't tell.
Kind of make it out. I didn't know. I saw the blue light. I was like, oh, Roman's coming out.
Head of the table. Head of the table.
I wish they would have still brought out his traditional theme song, the Head of the Table theme song.
I like the new one.
Overall, I love the new one. When people aren't
brought me back.
When people aren't popping out of their goddamn minds. You know what I mean?
You know what would have made that a better pop? Imagine if you had Paul Heyman say, "My name is Paul Heyman." And then out of the blue, Roman comes up and just knocks him out. That would have been hot.
That's how I thought it was going to happen. I thought Paul Heyman was going to come out, introduce himself, and then you just hear the music in the back, and Paul just eggs the mob to go absolutely nuclear. It was a great moment. I don't know if you guys noticed, but after Roman speared Solo and Solo lost, Roman screamed in Jigga File 2. Obviously, Jigga File 2 was out of commission. He kayfabed, hurt himself to avoid that confrontation with Roman Reigns. And
which is a whole other thing I want to talk about.
We'll get to that in a second, Brandy. So, in a sense, where Solo looked like he never thought Roman was gonna come back at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was screaming, like he just looked like he saw a ghost, even when he was walking to the back. And it's crazy because in kayfabe, maybe Roman wouldn't have came back. But you know what you did? To make sure he was coming back? You powerbombed his wise man through a commentary table. If you thought there was
Shield style too.
Exactly. If you thought there was going to be no repercussions for your actions, you're out of your mind. Respectfully,
it's so. Who do you think you are? Like, so this is like to be surprised that Roman came back when you were egging him on for months. Months.
It's ridiculous. It's like you saying Candyman in the mirror for weeks on end, and then you get surprised when the Candyman come out. No, bro, you was asking for this. So what would you wanted to say, Brandy, about the Jacob File 2 thing?
So the whole Jacob File 2 spot, I loved it. He sold me. Like on some real shit, I really missed Roman's entrance low key because I went back to see the Jacob File 2 spot. And like I didn't see it live. I saw it a little later. But that spot convinced me of all hell, like, damn, what are they gonna do with these tag team titles now? Like they just gave it to them. But that brings me to what I want to talk about. Why are you injuring the guy who just got the title? Even if it's kayfabe, like
you could do Freebird style.
So that's what I'm hoping. I'm locally hoping Longa, what's his name? Tonga. Tongaloa. I'm hoping Tongaloa actually breaks out. Keep the eye patch. I don't care. I love the eye patch. But like I'm hoping he steps up and like takes over for the title picture.
All right. So overall, that is our review on SummerSlam. So guys, what would you rate this pay-per-view out of 10?
I say I'm throwing up 10 ones because Roman Reigns came back. So 10.
I don't know what I just did.
Push it back. Push it back.
He's doing a diamond cutter, I think.
Yeah. Either that, he's putting up the Illuminati sign.
I would go with 8. I would go with 8 only because it was a little too predictable.
Okay.
That is fair. So Martin's figuring out his camera. Let's get into Raw. Honestly, I feel like this was one of the better Raws in a really long time. This felt like a Raw after Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Like an OG Raw after Mania, where the show was amazing. You know what I mean? It was generally a good show from start to finish, and I can't remember the last time I actually said that at the end of that Raw. Like it had no low moments at all, guys. So as we all know, Gunther kicked off the show, brand new world champion. He's talking to Schmack. Randy Orton comes out. How do you guys feel about Randy Orton being his first opponent?
It's the one that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Outside of the King of the Ring moment where his shoulder clearly wasn't down, but he respected the referee's decision, why do you feel like it's a perfect opponent?
When I first seen Randy, I didn't think they were going into a title match. I really thought it was like, hurricane season, hurricanes, people not showing up, this and that. Because we got a lot of SmackDown on Raw this episode. And when we got Randy, I wasn't like, okay, he's just gonna talk his shit, but he's not gonna get the title match. But for all we know, Gunther's going back home. There's Gunther. Who do you want to fight? And I'm sure that's his dream match. I'm sure they already put on a banger. So who doesn't want to see it for the gold?
There's also this thing for me that Gunther kind of needs to prove two things at this point, and it's his two biggest accomplishments since losing the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther did not beat Randy Orton clean. We all know that. We saw the pin. He did not beat Damian Priest clean. So those are the two people, in my opinion, that he has to right his wrongs and go ahead and fix those little errors. Because let's be honest, it's Randy Orton. Randy Orton cut a great promo. I just want to go ahead and shout that out. Randy Orton's promos always get me. When he said, "You consider yourself a legend, I'm in the business of being a legend killer," I still popped. I was like, "Oh man, this guy said the thing." You know what I mean? It's like Randy to me should be considered one of the greatest of all time on everybody's list. He's not winning, right? Like we all know that. So it's fine for him. Let Gunther beat him clean. That's what we need.
I agree with you.
You go ahead, Rick. What do you thought about
No,
that?
I agree with you, and I think it does two things. It adds prestige to that title, because to have Randy Orton come in, who's a future Hall of Famer, that definitely adds to that. Plus, it's his hometown. What's the best way to make him not get cheered? Have a massive baby face like Randy Orton feuding with him. It almost guarantees Gunther gets some boos. He's not going to get a whole. I mean, the whole place won't be booing him out of the building, but at least with Randy Orton there, at least give it about half. That's what the best you can do, especially with being a home crowd like that.
No, definitely Rick has a point, because like when those guys, like I remember, if you put it into perspective of like, yeah, they're gonna cheer Gunther, but we need someone just as loud as the cheers for Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, even if they're probably definitely gonna cheer for both.
I agree with you. When I saw Randy come out and the match was confirmed, I was worried. One of the reasons I was concerned was because I was like, damn, that means we're gonna get Cody versus Solo 2 at Bash at Berlin. Right? Because to me, Randy was the only other person that Cody could realistically have a match with. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens with the WWE Championship. So one of the other things that I was really looking forward to this Monday Night Raw, the Judgment Day, or the new Judgment Day. Do you feel, seeing what Finn explained his actions, do you feel like Finn is justified for what he did to Damian Priest and when he cost him the championship?
Yeah. I mean, look, guys, Finn said the right stuff to make me sit there and say, you know what? He's 100% correct. The whole reason they jumped Edge out is because he was trying to be the leader, right? Then they added Finn, and they were all equals. He's right about that. Rhea wins a title. All of a sudden, Rhea was the leader. Rhea gets hurt. Rhea's out. Damian wins the title. All of a sudden, Damian's the leader. You know what I'm saying? Everything Finn said is kind of the truth. Yeah. They were all equals. What I love the most about this now is, one, the Judgment Day faction they have right now looks like a legitimate faction. Like all these people look like they belong there. Two, there is not an original Judgment Day member in the Judgment Day right now. And I think that's awesome. We have gone through 3 phases of the Judgment Day. That's all I got to say about that.
No. Listen, it's very dope because we can be honest. Damian was wilding for a little while. Ever since he won the World Championship, his whole demeanor, he was like, I don't need the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day needs me. Judgment Day needs me. I don't need the Judgment Day. Everything that made the Judgment Day great, jumping in, interfering and helping each other's matches, that's what made the faction. You know what I mean? That's what made them who they are. Let's be honest. He's got way too big for his britches. So he shouldn't be surprised. If my man does a little self-reflecting, he'll realize, like, damn, I was low-key the problem. I caused this rift in the group. I'm the reason why I'm on the outside. How do you feel about that, Rick?
I will say this before I answer that. JD McDermott or McDermott showed me something. one, I didn't realize he actually cut a pretty legit promo because that was really good, and he actually showed he can actually fight with him, which is number two. And to answer your question, I think he actually mentioned it in his promo that like the fans are now his family and everything. If you go back and rewatch that SummerSlam match, he was really pulling it off the fans. And if you actually look at that too, when Finn came, Finn was trying to cheer him on, but you were hearing the fans way more than you heard Balor trying to get Damian to get going. So I think everyone saw it coming, and I think it's the right direction. And like you said, you don't have any of the original members. You had had everyone come together just so Edge could get thrown out. Now with the way the pieces are, I think you actually could really make that group run. You have the tag titles. Maybe someone decides to try going after the IC title. You know, think of it when what's his name had the NXT title. He actually was able to carry some feuds. Hey, why doesn't he go back? They're going to CW. Have him go back for the NXT title or the US or what do they call it? The North American title?
The North American.
Dom?
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
He was North American.
Have
You want
Dom
Dom
go
to
back
go
that?
out Oba Fleming? Stay clear.
I got you, Rick. I got you though, because I agree with you. But not the North American. They should go ahead and throw that Speed Championship on Dom and let him carry it around for a long time.
Mark,
Hey, tell that to Elon Musk.
Where he cheats to win.
I'm gonna find a way to mute Martin for the rest of the podcast.
Move this man!
This is getting crazy. What about you, Brandy? Do you think Finn was justified in his actions and everything he was saying? And how do you feel about the Judgement thing?
I don't think Finn had to be justified. It's a gang. We come up with reasons to kick people out all the time. I don't need a reason. But with that said, one thing that the Judgment Day has done from its conception is push these people to the moon. And as soon as I seen Liv Morgan with the gang last night or on Monday, I was like, damn, that's a champion. I have not looked at Liv as a champion as she is until she was in that group. And I was like, there's something about the Judgment Day that just oozes aura. And I'm really excited for who's next up. Like we said, whether it be Dom winning the speed title, that's crazy. Dom winning the speed title, or it be Liv Morgan retaining, whether it be Finn getting a mid card or World Heavyweight Championship, or even JD getting the NXT title. There's a lot of gold to be going around for these guys and a lot of pushing for them to do because these guys still have room to go. They still have more to be pushed. It's amazing.
I also think of it too. It really helped with that story with the Liv Morgan, as it's the revenge tour, and she wanted to take everything. She took.
She succeeded.
Day.
She did.
Yeah.
She 100% did.
It's crazy, man, when you really think about it. Especially since JD actually had a full-length match. He wasn't getting that kind of shine. Otherwise,
and another thing I want to add.
Showed out for him. Go ahead, Brandy.
Another thing to add about the Judgment Day is, thank God for the Judgment Day because Carlito has a home. This man was doing nothing with the other groups that he was in, and my boy is shining right now. I'm not gonna lie. If you go back and just think about some of the things that happened over the weeks when it was like, Dom ran to Liv in the hallway, and then Rhea's asking questions, and then Carlito goes, "Why don't you ask Dom? Why don't you ask Liv?" Little sly comments like that really make it go. They knew the whole time. The gang was well aware the whole time that they were turning on those guys.
Hey, we're gonna get R-Truth back in Judgment Day now.
No. What's gonna happen is R-Truth is gonna look at them and be like, "I would have never done that to y'all," and they're gonna feel mad silly.
Oh, R-Truth's gonna be chilling with Rhea and Damian now.
1,000%.
Just real quick though, I also want to point out, like, everybody was talking about, like, dang, everybody betrayed these two, but like, if you really think about it, all of them had a reason. Like, Damian Priest used JD as a punching bag. Whenever, something needs to be fixed, JD, go do this. How many times did he get squashed by Braun for no reason? You know what I mean?
Just say that. Yep.
Like, every week Damian got on. Right, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were on him. Carlito was back there, and Rhea's like, "Why is Carlito back here? Why is Carlito?" Like, every week. But I thought he was watching the product. You know what I mean? Like, so in a way, like, the fact that nobody stood with these two honesty just shows, like, honestly, y'all, they're the real villains. They're the real villains.
I'm glad we can agree to that. All right, let's get on to somebody who still has a WWE contract and we didn't know about. Odyssey Jones. Odyssey Jones makes his main roster debut, man. I swear to God, I did not know my man was on the roster until he showed up against AOP to help the New Day.
I only knew because I thought it was funny that he got drafted to Raw 2 years in a row and has not debuted. Like,
I didn't know my man had a contract still. I thought he was a silent cut. You know what I mean? Rick, what you thought about Odyssey Jones helping out the New Day?
People might not like this take, but I think this is 100% what the New Day needed. Since Big E left, they didn't really have a muscle, and that's your muscle right there. And with him being back, I actually felt like the New Day was back as a group again. I felt it interesting with what they did with Xavier in the locker room to definitely throw the seeds, but it felt good again that you had a 3-man group and you got the muscle back. Because without that, it's New Day's been missing something. I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but as just a duo, it just hasn't been the same. This kind of felt like old times.
And I mean, just to add on to what he was saying, like getting that muscle back, but also like how incredible he looked picking up Rezar and Akeem.
Insane.
Phenomenal.
Right? He looked incredible. But the fact that Xavier was never impressed, and this still enhances that Karrion Kross promo of Kofi doesn't really care about you. He feeds off your youth. It makes it even better because now you got Odyssey Jones, who is a young guy, a young big guy that Kofi can feed off. So it kind of feeds into that aspect as well. Kofi feeds off youth. Xavier has no more youth to feed off. Xavier's washed. You know what I mean? And I say that in kayfabe. Of course, Xavier is awesome, but I don't think we're ever really gonna get that Xavier turn. I think Xavier's gonna kind of just like he'll glimpse it, and then Big E will talk to him or something. But power positivity. If they break up the New Day, I think I'll just stop watching wrestling for a bit. To be honest.
I mean, you're clearly not a WWE fan anyway. All right, let's talk about a dead body on Raw. Brandy, let's talk about your boy Seth Rollins taking 6 tsunamis from Bronson Reed. At first, the crowd was disturbed, but by the third tsunami, the crowd was going for it. You know what I mean? They wanted to see a live body on air, and they did. By the fifth tsunami, I was like, "Oh my God, Bronson! He has a family." The sixth tsunami was crazy. So, how do you feel about seeing a live body on live television?
Man, it made me so upset because it just, Seth's done. Seth, I think me and Martin were watching Seth in the ring on Saturday, and Martin looked at me. He's like, he's hurt. Something's wrong with him. Yeah. And then for him to get written off TV on Monday, confirmed that. So I'm not happy about that. I'm never happy.
He probably came back. He came back too quick.
It seems
like that one match.
I think so.
With Damian, and that was it. But Damian needed that. Let's be honest. I don't care what Nick Ram says. He needed that. But, yeah, seeing him get written off TV is never exciting, but I do love when the crowd gets behind it. It actually brought me back to another Seth Rollins moment back a couple years ago when Seth was trying to get the O's over, and he was in New York City, and Matt Riddle was sitting there, and the crowd, he's sitting there being a heel, and the crowd's just cheering for him, give him the curb stop on the steps, kill him. And it was just yeah, everybody gets their karma now and then. You get what you got, you get what you gave, you know what I mean? So he had it coming.
People are sickos, man. People
I was at AEW yesterday. They're sickos.
I was like, I swear to God, Adam Pearce has no control over his locker room. Let's be honest.
Oh no.
My man,
they wouldn't do that to Nick Aldis.
Yeah, not at all. Nick Aldis would have been out there. He would have ate that tsunami. Not my show.
He would have covered Cody.
I swear to God, bro. He would have. My man doesn't accept nothing at all. All right, let's talk about jobber moments.
Hold on. I just want to point out, Seth Rollins came out dressed like Hangman Adam Page.
Yes, he
and
did.
Got killed.
And
he
got
came
called
out
the
dressed
cowboy.
like Hangman Adam Page and got
called
killed.
The cowboy.
They
killed. He was called the cowboy.
They killed
they killed AEW.
Be
cowboy.
I'm not gonna hold you.
Yes, they killed AEW. Said, "Slow down, cowboy." I was like, "Yes."
Actually, you know what got me tight about that tweet? wasn't about the tweet itself. I've been asking you guys to live tweet Raw, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. But my man's made sure to tweet an AEW tweet on the Monday Night Raw, and I was like, this is just nonsense.
I kind of told him to do that. That's my fault. I was like, that's such a good tweet.
Hangman Adam Page.
I was like, it's a good tweet. Put it on our side, on Four Sides Twitter.
Look, all I'm saying is, look at the beautiful picture. They killed AEW on WWE without actually doing it, literally.
Mm-hmm. And then Hangman came out
they
in
killed
the same jacket.
Biggest... I'm just saying.
Why would they do that?
Pettiness.
All right, so let's get into a jobber moment. Former Raw Tag Team Champs defeat. What? It's the other way around. Former SmackDown champs defeat former Raw champions.
R-Truth and Miz won.
No, they lost. R-Truth ate the pin.
Oh, for real? Oh, yeah. Turning,
Miz,
causing.
it looked like Miz was about to turn on him.
Yeah, Miz is going to turn soon, man.
Oh,
hate
no,
that.
3 things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and the Miz turning heel. Oh no.
Yeah. So I've been texting a group chat for like a month and a half now. Like, this whole Miz babyface is for Cleveland, right? Like, this is all for Cleveland. He wants to be a face in Cleveland, host Cleveland SummerSlam, and then the heel turn starts immediately.
Miz is a great heel, shitty babyface, so good for him.
He is not a shitty babyface.
Well, the Miz pattern actually runs like this. Whenever they're filming his show, he's a heel. Whenever they're promoting the show, he's babyface.
Yeah, I guess. Let's finish off Raw. Io and Sonya have a strong showing. Sheamus beats Ludwig. Ludwig came back from injury and they just killed my man. Good for him. And I
thought he looked good.
I think that was wrong. All right, let's get on to NXT.
Whoa. You forgot the main event. The Wyatt Six.
Yeah, the main event.
Oh, I forgot about the Wyatt Six. I knew I forgot something. I was like,
I have a sign for them.
But I will say, I love the fact that WWE called back to that the Wyatts debuted in Baltimore and everything. And you had Wyatt, you had Bray Wyatt's music. It was a tribute, but an ass kicking at the same time. It could have gone any better.
Honestly, I did forget about that. It was perfect. Honestly, I had my concerns about how they was going to present the wrestling behind the Wyatt Six, and they did it beautifully. I feel like American Made was the perfect opponents for them to go through, and them boys dominated. My man Dexter Lumis with dreads, with locks, crazy sight. Every time they show Dexter Lumis doing something ominous, I need Indy Hartwell just a comment on it. That's what I need. I just needed to comment on it. I'm like, what are your thoughts? Man, it's crazy. Good interview. And it was dope, man. It was a really great match. Great. I'm pretty sure Bray would be proud of his brother and proud of the boys putting on for him. It was great seeing Rowan, you know what I mean? Rowan, he did his thing. A little bit of tribute to Brody Lee.
Joe Gacy did his thing.
Yes, he did.
I want to make sure. I was a big doubter of Joe Gacy in this group, and he really surprised me here. And I just want to point out, outside of costumes, he's the only one that still looks like his costume. He looks like Husky's the Pit Boy. He wears the same shirt. I mean, it was cool. He wore the same shirt. He had the wristbands. He has a little nose ring. He looked like Husky's the Big Boy. I liked it.
I'm not gonna hold you. I do feel bad for Joe Gacy when he has to walk all crooked down the ring. I know his back hurts. I swear to God, I know his back hurts because he be walking crooked and slanted the whole entire way down. I know when it's time for him to stand straight. I know he's so grateful.
Now, it's mad funny. He be having to stand out of Bo Dallas's way. Like, he has to like creep out of his way, but still be where he's not below Nikki Cross. But like, he has to find the perfect balance.
His back hurts. But overall, the Wyatt Six, God bless. I'm sure Bray's looking down at you guys. Super proud of you guys. Keep killing it and kill Judgement though. Let's see that happen. Seeing Dom running for his life would honestly be hilarious. All right, let's get on to NXT. All right, so NXT announced their first 2 shows when they go to the CW are going to be on the road. They're going to go to Chicago and St. Louis with CM Punk and Randy Orton. They're going to be the guests on those respective episodes, their respective hometowns. Honestly, dope. How do you guys feel about NXT going back on the road?
I mean, with it being on network TV, it needs it.
I don't think it does, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I said this when I was on the Nightcat. NXT to me is Florida show, and I think unless it's a pay-per-view, they don't need to travel.
I'm not gonna hold you. Why would they ever turn down free money? And Trick Williams is a superstar. I'm sure he could fill out that place by himself. I'm not gonna hold you.
I kind of gotta agree with him. I think, Trick can't wrestle all you want, but you know what? You know what's better than a crowd of 60 people change whoop that Trick? A crowd of at least 2,000. So it's gonna be great.
I swear to God. All right. So Pete Dunne beat Trick Williams. I felt like that was the right call. Give Butch some momentum. And you're only saying yes because you hate Trick.
No, I'm saying yes because it was the right call.
No, and that promo with Pete saying about Butch and everything, that was fantastic.
Great promo. It was honestly, Pete Dunne deserves the world. I read an article. It was like if Pete Dunne would have became a free agent a year later, he would have been as big as a free agent as Will Ospreay because he was the complete package in the NXT UK. Before NXT UK, he was killing on the indie scene. He was doing his absolute thing. And then after NXT UK and he went to NXT and the main roster, it kind of slowed his momentum. So I do like the singles turn for him. It sucks what happened to Tyler Bate. But sometimes, honestly, this is a blessing in disguise, and hopefully he can make something out of this. Joe Hendry's a star. We know this. We believe. Honestly, he took out Gallus by himself. He did a little Eddie Guerrero spot. Joe Hendry's the future of this guy. Bro, there's going to be people who listen to the podcast episode, and they're not going to be like, what is this man talking about? Just so the audience at home, Martin is holding up these little flashcards that he made before the show. Of how much of a hater he is.
That's what I was saying. You don't have to acknowledge them. You could just let them do it.
Look, y'all. I'm big on bring signs back to wrestling shows. I used to love that era, so I'm bringing signs back to podcasts.
To an audio only podcast. That's insane.
Watch the visuals.
He did a little spot. He threw the chair at Gallus. He does hate WWE. He threw the chair at Gallus. I can't help myself. I honestly can't. Joe throws the chair at Gallus, sits on lays on the table. Gallus got kicked out and he beats Joe Kofi. That's it. I just want to get through NXT because NXT was kind of bad. Ooh, one thing I do want to talk about. Wesley being a loser.
Wesley has no friends.
It just don't make sense. He does. It doesn't.
You said it don't make sense.
My man was on the verge of retiring. You know what I mean? He was like, guys, I just can't cut it.
And they stopped him. They gave him no choice but to continue to wrestle. And he's like, I hate y'all for this. I wanted to retire.
On top of that, ever since Wes lost the title and everything stuff, Wes hasn't done nothing, which is why he's so depressed. The Rascals have been killing it in TNA. So, like, it's kind of like, y'all left me to be better off. And now that you're back, I still can't be better off. You left me. I love this. Just when I was done with West, because I was done with West. Just when I was done with West, they brought me right back in. Good job, Sean.
I don't care about West at all. I hope that changes though. I swear to God. All right, and we're going. Any other thoughts on NXT before we get into AEW?
Yes, feed Oba TNA, and they're setting up Oba versus Tony D, and I'm all for it. That's all I gotta say.
Tony D.
Yeah, I want to see Oba Moose. Let's go with that.
Oba Moose would be crazy.
Also, the Heritage Cup was the best match on the show.
It really was. Tony D carries NXT now.
He does. He's an absolute monster. You know, it's mad funny that Brandon's popping for TNA names is that he lives with Martin, so Martin just feeds Brandy random wrestling.
I don't pop for TNA names. Hold up. I've said this on the pod for the last 2 weeks. If you haven't heard, on Samsung TV, they have a TNA channel, y'all. It gets crazy on there. They show way too many pandemic pay-per-views, but outside of those, they're really good.
TNA was the stuff, man.
It was. It really was.
He lives with Mark now, so he watches these things. Let's get into AEW. I do have a question because I am going to give, if you guys did not know, Brandy, Martin, and Marcus, they went to AEW and they didn't invite me.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna let you get to it. That's just mad funny.
They didn't invite me. You know what I mean? Who cares to live in North Carolina? At least give me the invite so I can say no. You know what I mean?
Man, I didn't even get an option to say no either. Just like that with Forbidden Door.
Yo,
Chances comes up, we going. Nick Ram calls
Listen.
up, we going. I'm like, all right.
Listen, booking like a mark does that to me too. So don't worry, guys. It happens.
I'm not complaining.
Well, could you imagine if I would have bought 3 tickets and not 4? And Brandy's like, "Where's my ticket? I would have wanted to go." You know what I mean? So I just beat them and I just bought him a ticket. Right. So the one thing I do want to say
Thank you.
Before I give you guys the complete floor is Ari Fletcher. My man's is a superstar in the wings. My man's is super talented. I think that anybody with 2 eyes, a mouth, and a nose can agree that Ari Fletcher is on the way to superstardom. My only question to you is, when his tag team partner comes back, will that hurt him?
You mean Kyle?
Or Kyle Fletcher? I don't know why I always say Ari. You know why? That's somebody's baby mom's Ari Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher is nasty.
Filthy.
Baby Osprey.
Baby Osprey. Ozzy.
Yeah.
Oi.
My problem, like you were saying, is actually my problem is that when his partner comes back, I don't think they reunite him, to be honest. And that's gonna hurt me the most. But it's also not because I don't know if you guys know this, but all 3 of them were really fucking good. Like really fucking good. Like, so if he comes back and they give him the proper push in the right direction, he can shine the same way Will Ospreay did, the same way Kyle Fletcher is. Also, it's been a while, so is he even coming back is the real question at this point, which I hope he does. But it's been a while.
I think it was a broken arm.
I don't know. My phone's dead. I can't even Google.
Man, I love Kyle Fletcher. He's filthy. But I think the problem I have with him, and I think the problem that, like, the direction that they want to take him is so obvious. Like, every match he's had is an eliminator match. They all bang, but it just shows us where they're like, yeah, however long this guy has the title, he can't compete for it, which just buries him because now he can't compete for the mid-card title and the World Heavyweight title. And it's just kind of a burial off rip.
I do want to say.
I
do want to say that AEW American Championship is the ugliest belt of all time. I haven't been on the podcast in 2 weeks to say that. I think it's
the new one.
I think it's yes.
It's so ugly.
You're out of your fucking mind.
It's ugly on purpose, though. It's ugly on purpose.
It's egregious.
It's not
on
ugly.
Purpose.
That is the best United States Championship any company has ever dropped, ever.
Not even
and I will stand
title,
10 toes down.
It doesn't spin. It doesn't spin. It doesn't count.
Oh, now you sound like Rick. You sound like Marcus. I can't have this right now.
Listen,
you asked Marcus, what's the best belts? The ones that spin.
Martin's on drugs. That belt is ugly. It is disgusting.
That belt is gorgeous. And I'm gonna get the replica.
I hope you do not. I hope Championship Culture turns you down and tells you no, because that belt is.
I hope so too. Even though he's already in the works of coming up with it.
I genuinely hope they go no. You know what I mean?
Like y'all are tripping.
How much AEW do you watch?
I catch the highlights. It's. I got 2 kids, so it's a little tough. But I will tell you this: I did look up that injury. It was a broken wrist for Fletcher, for Davis.
Okay, so he's probably just doing rehab and stuff. He'll be back sometime soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so since I didn't go to AEW because I wasn't invited, I'm gonna give it to Brandy and Martin. I just want to say for the audience, there's no way I could have actually went. I live in New York and they live in North Carolina. I would have never made this show.
So
you would need the boat.
1,000%.
I just have one question for everybody. You know, if you watched it, if you didn't, I will tell you this. It's not even a question, it's a statement. Camille is a star. And I am so excited for the Monet Corporation because they have big things ahead of them. I can't wait. We watched those 2 local girls get squashed. Had to come out in the middle of a hurricane just to get squashed. Poor girls.
Get your check and go home.
It's
On
so
top,
crazy that
I have one
that
thing to
Randy said
ask.
to
If
Mark.
people want to leave me on Twitter or something, just let us know. It was Winston loud. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm one of those people that like when crowds are really bad, I start looking at people's tweets so they can start talking trash about these crowds being really bad. So like when I'm at these shows personally, I'd be trying to be loud for no reason. Like if I really make the difference, because I don't want my city being on Twitter known as quiet ass Winston. This terrible crowd in Winston, I don't want that. Mike said we sounded good, so I don't know if that's true. He could have been lying to make me feel better. But
He definitely was. That's not like shit.
The one thing, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into that opener match. The one thing that ruined it for me was two things. One was the fact that Kyle Fletcher wouldn't cheat. And I'm gonna tell you why that bothers me. This is an eliminator match, like Brandy said, right? Don Callis had you the win to get a title shot. Not only to get a title shot, but you could have possibly beat him and gone to Wembley. You could have went to Wembley and fought your best friend, Will Ospreay. You know what I mean? Like that should have gave you all the reasons to stop a guy with a screwdriver. That's all I'm saying.
All the reasons. So going forward, anybody who has any doubts about using a screwdriver from Don Callis, that man knows what he's doing. Listen to him. Look what happened to Kyle Fletcher after he didn't use the screwdriver, and take note. Please take note.
Which, speaking of Don Callis, it's my second problem with this. I was very hypocritical. If I didn't say this, I was very upset when I kept saying Damien's a face trying to run a heel faction. Why is Don Callis a heel running baby faces? It does not work. No one's ever cheating, Don. You threw that screwdriver at 4 different people now, and no one's stabbing nobody. All right? Get a real killer in there. Get Roosh. That man kills people.
He's a murderer.
That's what we need, okay? Black Taurus, he killing somebody. Get that guy in your faction. Your family is a bunch of soft, cuddly people. Get them out of here, okay? I'm sick of it.
The only one that doesn't need a screwdriver is Konosuke. He don't need it.
That's a killer.
He don't need it.
He'll kill you with you. But I bet you, if you threw him a screwdriver, he wouldn't hesitate.
I don't know. I feel like he might, because he's like, I'm too good for that.
He might throw it on his kneecap and knee you to death. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Don needs some killers. The opening match was awesome.
I got a question for you, Martin. You was shitting on the WWE tag team division, talking about the other side. AEW's tag team division has been Judo Chips Mahomes lately.
Lies. We just had a tag team tournament, and that's accommodating to FTR versus the Acclaimed. It's all coming together now. It's all coming together now.
How long has it been? It's been months.
We got
tag team title tournament was months ago.
Nah, it was like 2 weeks ago, man.
2 weeks ago? It was 2 months ago. Bro, it was a
you know, so then like I was saying about the Acclaimed, right? So they also came out because they're gonna fight FTR. I hate when FTR is on North Carolina shows because it's so obvious they're gonna win. I think they have it in their contracts. They never lose in North Carolina. I've never been to a show where they have lost in North Carolina.
Bro, they
Roosh
North Carolina.
and Black Taurus. Huh?
They lost to North Carolina.
When?
At Revolution.
No.
They lost at Revolution.
I was at Revolution.
And it's crazy that you don't remember it. They lost.
To who?
I'm looking it up right now. Go
look it up right now, because I think you're mistaken.
Go continue with your point, and I'll interject at some point, and I'll tell you who they lost.
I think you're mistaken there, because all I remember from Dax doing at Revolution was crying for Sting. But like I was saying, Black Taurus, guys, that man. If you're not familiar with his, I think Marcus said his name is Beast Mortis now or something like that. But he's Black Taurus in Mexico. The man's incredible. He wears an incredible mask. You guys know I love masks. I got a bunch of masks behind me. That man's incredible. Roosh is my guy. Roosh deserves titles. I love Roosh. I popped for Chris Jericho, and they said I was being very hypocritical because I was really upset when Brian Keith came out by himself as the bad apple. And I was like, so we're not getting Chris Jericho? Y'all don't know how. Y'all should have heard me. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. I was like, how are we going to be here? They're not going to have Chris Jericho come out. And then I heard his music play, and I was standing up. I was jumping. He saw me. That's all I got to know.
I found the match.
ECC.
Okay.
ECC.
I said Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley and Claudio Clausinoli defeated FTR by technical submission at AEW Revolution.
It happened March 3rd, 2024.
It's crazy. You was at the event. I wasn't even there. I was home, cuddled up under a blanket, and I remember that.
Bro, that might have been my bathroom break, bro. Chill.
How's your bathroom break? Your hometown people?
FTR? Because, oh, come on. Hometown. You know how I feel about it. It's the same. It's like if the Hardys were on the show, it would have been my bathroom break.
RTF. It wasn't FTR. It was RTF.
Okay. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
I got a question for you guys because you guys were there live. I read something about travel issues and everything. Did they make an announcement or anything? And did that really mess with the show about wrestlers trying to get there? Because I know you guys are dealing with that Hurricane Debbie and everything.
So I think Tony Khan put a tweet out earlier in the day, and I was telling the guys that I was like that they might have to switch up the card. From what I understand is the card that they advertised, everybody showed up. They cut some backstage promos, which gave us longer matches.
That's fine.
From what I understand, Britt Baker was supposed to be there supposedly, and wherever she was at, she had to cut a promo because she couldn't make it in because she was supposed to be like this big pop. I think she was the only one that was like couldn't make it, but they extended a lot of the matches, which was the best part because all the matches were cooking last night.
I think Tony Khan tweeted before the night, like early in the day, that he wasn't going to be able to make it, and he was there yelling at us. So seems like everybody made it.
Like obviously, MJF said he drove 10.5 hours just to be Kyle Fletcher.
Just to shit on Wake Forest, just to shit on Tim Duncan.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I don't know if you guys did you guys get that promo? No, because it was before the air.
Yeah, it was before air.
So before it actually started, they were like MJF came up and he's like, yeah, I'm in this whack city. No one ever said Winston-Salem, by the way. And then I kept feeling like they wanted to say, no, only Fletcher did.
Mercedes.
Tony Khan didn't say Winston.
Mercedes said it.
Yeah. But like Tony Khan didn't say it, and I kept saying, I was like, it sounds like they're talking about Greensboro, which is like our neighbor city, you know. But he was just like, the best thing y'all got is Tim Duncan, and like he was just going in, which like I know that's supposed to get you heat, but like he'd be real surprised at how many people in North Carolina actually care about Tim Duncan. Like Brandon said, if he would have attacked Chris Paul, he would have got some big boos.
Yo, the funny thing was, like, I'm saying, like, Kyle Fletcher ended up cutting a promo after the fact, and I'm like, what the hell does this man know about Tim Duncan?
You don't think Aussies watch the NBA? That's prejudice.
No,
like, not that guy.
No. What's up, my fellow bad guys? Just when you thought we were down bad, Brandy's here to pick us right back up. Thanks to our partnership with SeatGeek, we got good seats and great prices. New users can score a fantastic $20 off their final ticket purchase by using the exclusive promo code 4SIDESOTR at checkout for any event. That's 4SIDESOTR. Tell them the bad guy sent you.
All right, so there was an off-air segment. Can you tell us about that? Since you guys were at the scene, what happened?
So, you know, in between Rampage and Dynamite, you know, the match ends. You know, Prince Nana came out and they were out. And when they had their segment, Brian was like, it's been a while since I wrestled in North Carolina. Why don't I do that thing? And he got up he actually asked for a competition. And they did Yes Chance first versus Who's House. Yeah.
Because we went heavy on the Who Houses. And Bryan Danielson, like, Swerve was just like, you see, there's no, like, everyone knows. And Brian was like, well, let's just make it a competition. And when he did that, man, we were tuning up. We already knew where this was going. And I'm not going to lie, we switched real quick when Prince Nana went in there, did a little dance and said, Who's house? Nobody was saying yes. We went right back to it. Swerve's house. We were going, it was great.
So by the end of the competition,
my favorite memory.
The shortest syllable one. Let's be fair. You could say yes 10 times before you could say Swerve's house. It wasn't a fair competition.
Sounds like you guys worked hard enough. I want to talk about somebody else that shouldn't be on TV. Jeff Jarrett, 57 years old. And anything
you shut your damn mouth. No, I'm done with this shit. I'm done. You shut your damn mouth. Jeff Jarrett absolutely fucking cooked last night. No, hold on. Bro. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this because you sound just like the guys last night. Okay, Jeff Jarrett deserves to be on TV. He fucking cooked last night, Chano. Okay, Jeff Jarrett's a damn goat. You're gonna show some damn respect on this man's name. Okay, he did great last night. Him and Bryan Danielson had a damn banger. Okay, they had a damn banger.
My man's just
they had a banger, but should have been the main event.
Yes.
No.
I wish that match was hijacked by the Taco Bell commercial. That's what I'm.
Bro, I just read that in the notes and I'm cracking up because I didn't know he was hijacked by Taco Bell. We seen the whole.
So we didn't get that. We got the whole promo. I didn't know anything about no Taco Bell.
So basically, Rick, since you don't watch AEW, yesterday they was doing a promo for Jack Perry, talk about what's the cost for everybody has to sacrifice. But as soon as he said that, he's like, everybody has a cost, everybody has a price. They cut immediately to a Taco Bell commercial talking about a $7.
So AEW has a price. Okay.
Yeah, AEW has a price.
But it fits his gimmick, so it makes you kind of wonder if that was actually legit, though.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, the rest of the promo was real boring. I'm not gonna lie.
It was. It was trying to be the Wyatt 6 so bad. It was pissing me off.
Yeah, so listen, Jack Perry clearly sucks because Taco Bell ran his shit, but AEW they did apologize and they did put out the full promo. I'm not gonna watch it because to me, Jack Perry and Taco Bell are the same thing. Now,
it's just scapegoat. I mean? That's all it says. Scapegoat. It all leads to this one thing that it's a TV at the end and it says scapegoat. There's no anticlimax. There's no high point. There's no match setup. Nothing. It's just scapegoat.
The guy behind us was like,
Darby's a star. TVs. Darby needs to beat him.
Darby's a star. I will say this though. I do have one question because you're talking about this FTR versus Young Bucks. There has been almost no build to this. They've been doing their claims, building the claim for a while. It seems like this is going to be a multi-team tag match at All In, and it's just going to be. I don't know, man. I got zero faith in it. I got none. I do have Rick. Do you know who Penta is and Ray Phoenix are?
Yes, I've also read that they might be switching teams. So they're the Lucha Brothers, right?
Yes. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Penta deserves the absolute world. Penta deserves everything. That man is the swaggiest man in wrestling. He's the son about Penta oozes all.
Supposedly years ago, before AEW came about, Vincent Kennedy McMahon was really high on Penta, but he didn't want Ray Phoenix, and that was the whole no-go for him. So I think if they're gonna take both of them, I think they will jump ship. I'm gonna say it right now, y'all. They do not fit in WWE. They do not fit. Penta is a great wrestler, 100%. Ray Phoenix is a great wrestler, 100%. Lucha Libre does not fit in WWE. It never has. It never will. They don't know how to showcase it. Okay? So all I can say is they're going to take Penta, make him some spooky Mexican with a mask, and it's not going to work. And if they leave AEW, I don't know what to say about it. They should either just go back to Mexico because they don't fit in WWE. There's some people that fit. Ricky Starks, everyone talking about that, he fits. The Lucha Brothers don't fit.
Well, you know where the Lucha Brothers could fit? NXT, which has a CW deal, which is now going to be on more TVs, and they're going to try investing some money in it. So they're going to have to put some big people on there. And they're not going to get people from WWE going down. Why are they going to be demoted? They'll bring in blood.
They don't want.
Yeah, but when you got people like Trick Williams who can barely wrestle, I mean, I don't see anybody want to do that.
Yo, Martin, I got a question. Did Trick Williams take your girl or something? Did you check her phone one day and Trick was just in her DMs and she was responding?
If Trick's taking anything, he needs to take somebody's dang talent because dude has no wrestling skills.
God damn.
He's as green as broccoli. And I hate it. I hate it. That's your former champion. That dude's a scrub.
Yo, you hated him.
Move this man!
My man isn't even a champion no more, and you're still hating on him. Like, how does that work?
Because y'all refuse to admit that he's not good, and that bothers me.
He's great.
Ethan Page.
He's great.
He's not. Ethan Page, okay, has not had a bad match since coming in, except with Trick. Okay, Trick made Cedric look bad. Okay, so they had to put him with Pete Dunne, who's fabulous. Pete Dunne made him look good because Pete Dunne is fabulous. Trick needs someone who's amazing to make him look decent. Trick is ass.
Also, Trick,
This is why I don't
his
host the
past two
show.
matches are against people from the WWE roster, so they're trying to they're even trying to make him look good with people who are veterans. I agree. If he was already good to go, you wouldn't have veterans coming in every single week trying to help him out.
Thank you. They expect
not
really
building
great wrestlers to make him look decent. The guy is over. That's great. But look, I'm going to say it like this. So was Enzo Amore, and Enzo Amore was a shitty wrestler. Okay? That doesn't make it. Just because you're over, you don't get everything you need. Okay? The man should have never been world champion. And until the guys of four sides of the ring can actually sit here and tell me, look, I think you're right. Trick is super green. He should not have been world champion. I will be on this rant to the day I die.
World champion of what? Of development? What are you talking about?
He brings up a good point too. It's a development brand, so but he's not developing. He's over. He's not developing.
Thank you.
He is certainly developing. We seen him in the ring with Judgment Day a year ago, and it was so bad.
Oh my god, it was terrible.
And now he can actually do something. He's
and
developing.
Then we've seen him in the ring with other people, and it's so bad. I don't know
but why is his former tag team partner on SmackDown? Why is he still in NXT?
I mean, because he still needs to work. Carmelo was a year ahead of him, plus many years in the Indies. We got to remember, Trick is an NIL signing, all right? He came straight from being a wide receiver from football. His father wasn't a wrestler. Listen, I know you could be like Braun Breaker was a runner back, but his father didn't come from wrestling.
Logan Paul didn't come from wrestling.
Logan Paul is, come on now.
Logan Paul has money and followers, so.
I'm also not going to hold you.
So I'm just saying.
Trick Williams can go back to the PC for a year, be the world champion of the PC, and Martin would still complain about it. Yep. Not even be televised. And he'd be like, he's the champion of the PC? How dare they? And be like, damn.
How would you feel if Trick Williams had the Speed Championship?
Trick Williams does not need to be champion. Trick Williams takes 2 minutes to put one move. He'd be like, kick.
All his matches are one knee to the face. That's all he's gonna be able to do.
It's crazy.
Trick has a great punch. Great right hook.
Great punch. All right, Rick. So you've been on a couple shows with us. I like to think that you know us pretty well. If you had to label four sides of the ring, each member, how would you label as heels, as baby faces and heels? That's my favorite question.
Chano has to be a face. We hit it off with Power Rangers before this thing started, so
that's crazy.
I gotta go with that. Nitram, I gotta go with the heel, because but you know how to cut a promo, which is good. That's what heels do. Heels know how to cut a promo and how to play with the crowd. That is you. And Randy Savage, you're rocking the Angels hat as they beat up the Yankees. So I'm a Mets fan, but I gotta say, as from someone from New York, just seeing the A's hat or Angels hat, I gotta go with you.
It's the only thing that matched.
I'm mad. I'm the only. I think this is my second time being called the babyface, which is amazing.
The first time was by Martin, actually. Martin came on, was like, he called Chano a babyface, and then since he got to know him since, and he's not so much a babyface anymore.
I'm a cold-blooded heel, baby.
Dive into a world where every pinfall, every suplex, and every promo is celebrated in fashion. From the legendary 3-count trivia to the iconic bad guy wrestling, we've got the latest gear to elevate your wrestling wardrobe. Show off your passion for the squared circle. It's not just clothing, it's a lifestyle. Come shop with us and unleash your inner champion at foursidesofthering.com. That's foursidesofthering.com.
But listen, I appreciate the chameleon skin. As my final question for thing, for all of you guys, we're gonna start with Brandy. If you had to, with the current WWE roster, and you had to build the perfect 5-match PLE, who's on the card? And
Good question.
And you can't do more than one multi-man match. Like you can't do like a 6-man like you can't do like 3 Hell in a Cell matches.
I don't book like that anyway. Like, so I would probably do Bloodline versus the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
That'll probably be, just gotta do that just for tag team titles. Then after that, I'll probably
name the
Bloodline versus Bloodline. Bloodline versus Bloodline.
Okay, so
Usos.
Usos versus Tamatonga and Jacob Fatu.
Yes.
Okay.
After that, this is a SummerSlam card. This is a regular card. I can fantasy book anything. It's WrestleMania, baby. We're going to WrestleMania. We have WrestleMania. Cody Roman Part 3. Seth Rollins, The Rock.
You got 2 more.
So I got 3 cards right there. What?
You got 2 more matches.
2 more matches. After that, am I allowed to like add people who aren't with the WWE to this?
Nah, current roster.
Damn it. So like, what about Sasha Banks? Does Sasha Banks count as a WWE superstar?
No, she's literally on AEW.
No, Mercedes is on AEW. Okay, my bad. It was just a question.
I like his thinking though. I'll give him props.
My boy's gonna bring in a fake Sasha like they brought in fake Diesel.
Yo, chill. We're gonna do Bianca Rhea because I've been waiting forever for that. And then after that, I might.
He feels.
Damn, this is a hard one.
Match.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do. Oh man, this is a good one. We're gonna do Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio because my boy Zombie couldn't be here today, and I just want him to have one last great WrestleMania match.
Look at you, so sweet. Let's go with you. Rick.
So I'll predict Bad Blood, and if I get Brownie, and if it comes through, you guys can have me back every week. I'm gonna go with Solo against Roman. I'm gonna go with Tribal Combat. I think that fits the storyline. If you look at last year's SummerSlam, that fits. I'm gonna go with Cody against Randy Orton because Randy Orton says I had that taste to be in that main event for a title. It's next pay-per-view, so he wants it. And I'll start building for that. Match number 3, I'll go with Nia Jax defending her title against the Storm. Spacing out on her name all of a sudden.
Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill?
Yeah, Jade Cargill. Then I will have the IC title. I'll do a triple threat. Sammy, Dragunov, and Braun. And then I already said it, the 6-man Hell in a Cell.
All right. I'll take that. What about you, NetRam? Let's see your horrible WWE booking because you clearly just hate the show.
How many 45 people and older are going to be on this card?
I guarantee you, if it was AEW, he would have said Chris Jericho versus Jeff Jarrett in a 3 stages of Hell match.
Let me tell y'all something. At Mania, I'm also going to take a Mania here. You're going to get John Cena versus Joe Hendry. Okay?
Oh, my God.
Follow me here. You get John Cena versus Joe Hendry.
Jesus Christ.
You're going to get...
Who's the heel?
On Joe Hendry, obviously. You're going to get Rap versus his little concerts. It's money. Money, sir.
All right, let's go. You got 4 more matches.
If you don't believe in Joe Hendry, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to say Roman Cody because Brandy already said it. So give me Roman and Jacob Fatu.
There you go.
1-on-1.
Good call.
Okay. Give me Cody versus Andrade.
Ooh.
For that title. And the women's, I'm doing a fatal 4-way where I want Jade, Bianca, Rhea, and Charlotte. And then that would leave Gunther and Finn. Because I think they cooked on their little match. And I want to see it again.
All right, so I'm
my 5 matches.
I'm not going to choose the WrestleMania because you guys are basic as hell. Shout out to Rick for creativity for Bad Blood. So I'm going to do NXT No Mercy. I'm going to do Trick Williams versus Cody Rhodes, and going over clean as a whistle. Clean.
That kick knocked him out.
Knocked him out, boy. I got Rock Roman. That's 2 matches. I got. This is hard. I got the. I got Tama Tonga and Tungaloa versus Andrade and Carmelo Hayes because they made up. They're buddies now. They're friends. I have Charlotte versus Nia Jax. That's 3 matches, right? What I said,
you're at 4.
Cody Trick. I got 4.
You're at 4.
Said Cody Trick. I said Cody Trick, Roman Rock.
You had your tag match.
Tag match and a women's match. Okay, and my last.
And
match,
they really trying to compete with AEW right now. This is all on a Tuesday night, y'all. And
this is on a Tuesday night.
No, this is an NXT pay-per-view. This is on a Saturday.
Ooh,
I don't know.
This is on a Tuesday, and my final match would be Brock Lesnar versus Gunther.
Damn, we all wanted that, huh?
I can see it. I can see it now, guys. Watch NXT with one NXT star.
I was really
with all your favorite NXT stars like Brock Lesnar.
This is NXT No Mercy.
That's the way the fans.
They're gonna leave watching that show and be like, you know what though? The one NXT guy won.
It's not NXT if you don't have Thea Hale.
The facts. Yo, I'm telling you, Martin. Could you imagine Martin's face? His jaw just dropping when Trick Williams pins Cody Rhodes clean.
Oh, dude, can you imagine my tweets? My tweets of you should have stood in AEW would be crazy. AEW would never.
All right, guys. Let's wrap this up. Rick, thank you so much for coming out to us. Tell us where the people can find you.
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, Facebook. I am starting to gather something on Facebook. Just started it today. It's a bunch of wrestling podcasters all in one group, just so we all can get our words out. There's a lot of creative people. You guys mouthing off with Mike, Boom Broadcasting. I want to put more eyes on people who are just busting their butts out there. So that's on Facebook. I'll share it on Twitter. Also, I'm big into Tecmo, so I'll be dropping some Tecmo Super Bowl previews, how I think the season's going to go. I was very close last year. I called the 49ers, so we'll see if this year actually I'm right.
All right, let's go into Brandy.
You know the vibes, guys. Brandy Savage here. You know, you can find me at Brandy freaking Savage FKN on Twitter, and you can find me at Life and Times on Instagram. Watch Opinionated.
Rick, you never gave us your handles.
My what?
Your handles, your social media handles.
It's Rick_8bit on Twitter. So it's unfortunately there's someone else who's inactive. So just look for the R8 just like behind me. You'll find me easily.
All right, and let's go for our biggest hater, Knit Ram.
First off,
where can the people not find you?
let me tell y'all something.
At NXT.
I'm the one that makes them say, "Oh damn, I'm Knit Ram. I'm your host of Opinionated and 3 Count Trivia coming in September." Now that being said, we also have our Opinionated finals coming up soon, which Rick is in. Congratulations on that, Rick.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
in there. I hope you win. I don't got any money on it, but if I did,
you be broke.
I bet Brandy. You can catch me. You can catch me on Twitter at nitram_4SOTR. That's NITRAM_4SOTR.
And listen, it's your favorite loser, Chano Hayes, Chano the God, Chano Theory, not Chano Mysterio, because my cousin is living it up in life. He's a goddamn living legend, I'll tell you. And honestly, that's our show, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Please watch Opinionated. Watch all the ways Nitram finds to get me eliminated. I promise you, it's honestly insane. It's illegal. I paid Brandy off to beat Rick, and he hasn't given me my money back because I lost in the finals, and he was the tiebreaker. So Brandy, I want my
You
money
didn't have
back.
the Randy Savage glasses, man.
Yo, bro,
Dude,
I
just
sent him a Zen.
Cut better promos.
There's nothing I could do if your promos are weak.
Listen, I want my $2,000 back, Brandy.
Hey, man.
And that's
I don't know. It's spent. You know what I'm saying? It went somewhere good, but let's just.
Finals.
Went to AEW merch.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. All right, guys, thank you for coming out with us, and that's our show.